They took Jesus to the high priest, and all the chief priests, the elders, and the teachers of the law came together. Peter followed him at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest. There he sat with the guards and warmed himself at the fire. While Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came by. When she saw Peter warming himself, she looked closely at him. "You also were with that Nazarene Jesus," she said. But he denied it. "I don't know or understand what you are talking about," he said, and went out into the entryway. When the servant girl saw him there, she said again to those standing around, "This fellow is one of them." Again he denied it. After a little while, those standing near said to Peter, "Surely you are one of them, for you are a Galilean." He began to call down curses and swore to them, "I don't know this man you're talking about." Immediately the rooster crowed the second time. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken to him, "Before the rooster crows twice, you will disown me 3 times." And he broke down and wept. A few hours earlier, Peter insisted that he would follow Jesus to death. He even jumped out and cut off the ear of one of those arresting Jesus. You see, when there were other disciples present, Jesus was bold and courageous. When he was alone, he followed at a distance. And in the company of strangers, without the need to save face, he caved under pressure. And I think it's interesting that the one who caused Peter to deny Jesus was a slave girl. It wasn't a Roman centurion or even a soldier. It wasn't a scribe or a Pharisee. It was a slave girl who seemed only to be inquiring, for the very first time at least. The second time, she was a little bit more forceful. She had something to prove, but she also gave Peter a second chance to claim Jesus. This time he denied it, and it caught the attention of others. They were convinced that he was lying. They were convinced by the Galilean accent. And the moment he denied Jesus the third time, he heard the rooster crow the second time. And sometimes we give in to the smallest of threats. I can't be sure of this, but it's likely that if Peter had acknowledged knowing Jesus from the very beginning, he wouldn't have been in any danger. But his denial indicated that he had something to hide. And even after the situation escalated, it didn't appear as though Peter was in physical danger. And I wonder how often we find ourselves in a predicament wishing we had done it God's way the very first time, the first chance we got. See, God, too, doesn't leave us without warnings. Notice that we're not told exactly when the rooster crowed the first time, but no doubt Peter had heard it. And he would have been reminded of Jesus' prediction, and he would have been given a chance to stop the momentum of his downhill slide there. But when the accusations came, he denied Jesus a third time. I think the point there is that sin may want to sneak up on us from time to time. Certainly Satan will try to work that way if he can. But God has given us his Holy Spirit to prompt us and to prod us and to convict us and to comfort us and to guide us and to guide our course. We don't go without notice. We don't find ourselves deep in sin without having had some sort of a notice that we were heading in that direction. And I wonder how many of us follow Jesus at a distance today. Close enough to have him in our sight, but distant enough to go unnoticed by others. Close enough to enjoy the company of believers, but distant enough to maintain our individual identity. Close enough to warm ourselves by the fires of worship, but distant enough to stake claim to our time and our efforts and our resources. Father in heaven, we thank you that Jesus didn't look after himself, that Jesus didn't worry about his own comforts, that Jesus didn't worry about his own needs, but he pressed on towards the cross, knowing it would take his life, knowing he would suffer, knowing he would bear our sin and our guilt, and face your wrath. Father, as we strive to live for him, times come where we may be tempted to deny him. Father, I pray that we would not be ashamed of our faith in Jesus Christ, that we wouldn't be intimidated by bullies who would want to call us names or treat us differently, that we wouldn't be belittled by those who are so wise as to know that there is no God. Father, your word tells us that if we confess Jesus before men, that he will confess us before you. So give us the strength to confess Jesus every day of our lives. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thanks for joining us on YouTube today. I'm glad you took a second to join us as we are producing videos of our worship elements and our message. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button though, so you can see when other updates will be made available as well. And don't forget to click the links that allow you to explore our YouTube channel.